Female, Episode 18. How you get sick like that? Niece, one of the last conversations I had with your mother before she passed has stuck with me for a long time. She didn't really understand bipolar disorder, but she wanted to. She wanted to know what was wrong with me and how everything happened so that she could fix it. She was the type of older sister who always looked out for me. Before you came along, I think she looked at me more like her child than her little sister, since there was a 16-year difference between us. When I was younger, I hated that she was so much older than me. I wanted to be the one with a boyfriend, the one who could stay out late on a school night, the one who could go on trips without our parents. I felt I was smarter than she was, so I should be allowed to do everything she did, even though I was very young. But overall, I loved having older siblings. Whether it was your mom or your uncle, I clung to their every word, obsessed over everything they did, and bathed in their love and support. If not for them, I would not be as well as I am today. Even though Steph died almost 10 years ago now, I always cling to the memory of that call. It took place shortly after my first stint in the Girl Interrupted Hospital. She had that tone she had when we would brainstorm together, like, "Okay, Sia, we can figure this out." She asked, "This bipolar thing, how you get sick like that?" I paused for a moment because no one had ever asked me that before. I'd asked doctor after doctor, Googled, read books, talked to other people with mental illnesses, prayed for God to tell me, and still I had no idea how I'd gotten sick. I told her I had no idea how I'd actually gotten sick, but I could run down some things I'd heard or read. She said, "Okay, let's hear these things." They say it runs in the family, but we couldn't think of anyone in our family on either our mom's or dad's side who had any kind of mental illness. There were some people who just weren't right, but no one ever ended up in a hospital. They say it could be a dormant gene that presented itself in me. She wanted to know what would make it come out. Could it come out in her at some point? I had no idea. They say it presents itself in your teens. I made a comment about how I almost missed it. It caught me right at 19. She laughed and said I would think something like that. She said maybe 19 was a good year because I was in college and not at home with mom and dad. They wouldn't have had any idea how to handle it. I said it's funny that you mentioned school because they say kids who are trying to get into an Ivy League school are more likely to develop a mental illness than other kids. She paused for a bit before saying, "You're so smart you went crazy?" I said, "Who knew that was a thing?" It has to do with stress, the pressure of it all. Maybe it got to me. She said that was ironic because the person putting the most pressure on me was me. I wanted to get into Harvard. I wanted to go to prep school. I agreed, but I had to say I thought mom and dad wanted it too. They wanted to know if I could actually do it, be the child of their dreams. She said, "Is that what you are? The child of their dreams? Then what am I?" An accident. I was planned. Mom told me so. Okay, dream child, what other causes are there? I told her the truth was I'd given up trying to figure out how I got it or why I have it. I had to focus all of my energy, and it was greatly diminished by my being sick, on getting better. I had to start to figure out what I was up against and how to get out on the other side of it. I never wanted to end up in a mental hospital again. Even though I was in one of the better ones, it was still terrible. I never thought anyone could take away my ability to go outside because I was sick. It was like the illness instantly turned me into a criminal. But every time Steph called me to see how I was doing, it was like a ray of sunlight passing through two very dark curtains. And it started with that question, "How you get sick like that?" She wanted to know everything I knew, and then she did some research on her own and taught me some things. That's the type of person she was, and that's who I aspire to be. It's funny, with all the schooling and degrees, I learned the most from my sister. She never went to college, barely graduated from high school, but never wanted for anything and never denied me anything I asked of her. and I will never deny anything you ask of me. It must have been hard the past 10 years without her. I can never fill her shoes, but I want everything for you that she ever wanted for you. My love for you is life-sustaining for me. Until next time, this is your Aunt Sia saying, stay strong, stay healthy, and know that you are loved.
We can learn together, we can grow forever.
Hey, it's a best kept secret.
We can learn together, we can grow forever. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. Let me tell you where I've been, who I am, what I do, where I stand, how I live, what I think, what I love, what I am. Black bipolar female. Yes, ma'am. Many questions you could ask, what I don't know I will pass. I will help you understand all the ups, all the downs, all the smiles, all the frowns, all the whys, all the hows. Walk the journey with me, the road is full of wows. We can learn together, we can grow forever. We can learn together, we can grow forever.